Hey, friends. Mark here. Alicia and I are on vacation up in Whitehall, New York, looking for Bigfoot. So this week's episode, we're going to share a Patreon episode with you. We hope you enjoy it.
Hey, y'all. This is Frank the Bigfoot, and you're listening to the Paranormal Puncher.
Hey, friends. Welcome to another Patreon episode of Creepy Cryptids. I'm Mark.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nash.
I'm Dave.
And on this episode...
Is what?
I'm not sure what happened.
Opophode?
I think I was trying to combine the name of the cryptid with episode, because we're going to talk about the... I'm going to just leave that in. Yeah. That's the funny things that happen sometimes when you record podcasts.
That's right.
On this episode, we're talking about the OgoPogo, a cryptid from Canada. Liz, you got a little synopsis on this thing?
I have that the OgoPogo is a lake monster said to inhabit Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada. It's nicknamed... Oh, what?
No, it's Okanagan?
I think it's Okanagan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's nicknamed Augie for short, and it's also known as Canada's Loch Ness Monster.
And I have a little ditty for everybody here.
Ooh.
Well, I was fishing on the Okanagan Lake one afternoon in British Columbia, Canada in June. The water looked refreshing, the air was mighty clean, but then I heard a grumbling noise louder than a train. My boat started rocking and the water started bubbling, and out popped a monster and I started mumbling, monster, oh no! A fish with a mustache shouted, "It's the OgoPogo! Oh no, OgoPogo, the mythical Canadian beast!"
Oh boy.
Oh no, OgoPogo.
Oh boy.
All right.
Well, okay, so I want to give kind of like an idea of what the lake is. Okanagan or Okanagan, I'm not sure now, after what they said on the song.
I was going to say Okanagan is what I was going to say.
Okanagan.
I was gonna say, which was another third wrong way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the largest of 5 interconnected freshwater lakes in British Columbia. It was created when melting glaciers flooded the valley 10,000 years ago. It is 79 miles long, and at its deepest, it's 762 feet deep.
Wow.
And it's curved kind of similar to a serpent. Just also on the waterfront, there's a 15-foot green and cream-colored statue of Augie. And also, he's the mascot of a local hockey team, just to kind of give you some background. But so many say that it's a multi-humped snake-like beast with green or black skin, with the head of a horse, a snake, or a sheep. So depending
Take
on
your
who,
pick.
yeah,
Is it-
A horse, snake, sheep.
Or it's either a horse head, a sheep head,
or
snake head.
Yeah.
Well, the sheep head and the horse head are kind of similar. They're pretty similar. One is descendant from the other, but the snake is drastically different.
Other accounts say that he has horns or antlers and several set of fins. So
what I'm hearing is Augie is a shapeshifter, right?
ooh.
Yeah. Although I don't think horns would be very good in the water.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So there are different.
Sorry, I just thought of this. I know many things that are horny in the water.
Anyway.
I don't even know what to say.
So there's different accounts as far as like how OgoPogo got his name.
What's the name of the lake, Nash?
Okanagan?
Okay, well, you were... never mind.
Okanagan
With his horny comment, I'm like, oh, the lake's actually called Oh, He's Naked.
God.
Oh, there's something horny in the water at Always Naked Lake?
The way you say that, though, it reminds me of, like, you're singing the national anthem of Canada.
Okanagan.
Good. All right, guys.
Did you hear that sound?
Yeah.
That was the sound of one of our Canadian patrons quitting.
Yep. Now, OgoPogo, what they believe, received its name in 1924 from a song heard in the nearby city of Vernon. His mother was an earwig. His father was a whale. A little bit of head and hardly any tail. And OgoPogo was his name.
Come on now.
Okay. Right. Augie Mania, it peaked in the 1980s when a $1 million reward for proof of his existence was offered by the Tourism Association. Now, Greenpeace countered that. They declared it an endangered species so that nobody would kill it. But
How did he get his name again?
from a song.
Do you remember how that song went?
Something about a lot of head, but not a lot of tail.
No.
A little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead.
Oh, okay. I must
Hardly
have.
any tail.
Oh, boy.
Ringtone.
Now, so
Oh, no, OgoPogo.
Okay.
Gets a little bit of head and not much tail.
Are you guys done?
Speaking of horny in the lake.
Okay. So there have been sightings for a very long time. The people that lived in that area, they felt like he was an evil supernatural entity with great power and ill intent. They called it Nahat Atik.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Something
It was
like that.
Naha-Atik.
Something like that.
Naha-Atik.
Which can translate to water demon, water god, or sacred creature of the water. It demanded a live sacrifice for safe crossing of the lake. For hundreds of years, they would sacrifice small animals before entering the water. And I have one little story from that. Chief Tim Basket.
Work on the names.
I know. Tim Basket.
Tim Basket.
Yeah.
Oh, they said tin basket.
No, Tim.
Tim. Like Tim is in a basket.
Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Basket.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do the required sacrifice. He was a
Market
visiting.
basket.
He was a visiting chief to the area, and he was like, I ain't doing a sacrifice. So he went on a canoe ride with his family. The beast whipped up the surface with his tail, and the canoe and the people that were in the canoe were sucked below the waves to the bottom of the lake. So
That sucks.
they would say it would use its tail to create fierce storms to drown people. So those are like the back in the day different sightings. But in 1872, there was a sighting by Susan Allison. She was an author and pioneer in the area. And this was the first detailed account by a non-native person. So like people first coming up to that area. Now, in 1968, Art Folden was driving on the highway when he noticed something moving in the lake. He pulled over and started filming it. The footage showed a large wake moving across the water. He estimated that it was 300 yards from the shore. But a 2005 investigation by National Geographic Channel concluded that it was much closer to the shore than he thought, which made the object much smaller than what it was. And they felt like most likely it was an otter, beaver, or waterfowl.
But didn't it have the three humps as it was cruising down?
I think what he saw was a wake.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I saw the video that I saw, there was a bunch of it. Almost everything either had like, you could see the three different humps coming up, or if it was a wake, it had multiple different spots of creating
Okay.
the wake.
Well, and apparently the way otters move through the water can cause that effect, and that a lot of sea monster sightings are actually otters.
Okay.
But that obviously goes to the size difference, that if you're not getting the right perspective,
Right.
yeah.
Damn otters.
Now, in 1980, about 50 tourists watched an alleged OgoPogo for about 45 minutes off the beach of Kelowna. One tourist shot about 10 seconds of it. And there are some that think it was just a pair of otters as well. Now, in 1989, John Kirk, he saw an animal in the lake that was about 35 to 40 feet long and consisted of 5 black humps with a lashing tail. He believed it to be moving at 25 miles per hour. Now, in 1992, there was a film of something that was traveling just below the surface at a good speed. Some suggested that it was, again, otters. Others that it was debris from a fallen tree. And they only think that because they're in the video towards the end, there's a skier that comes into frame and falls right by the object. But neither the skier or the object kind of reacted to it. So they think it was probably just a tree or debris or something. And in 2011, a dark object in the water was captured by a cell phone camera. The video quality is poor and shaky, as they usually are. But upon closer examination, it appears to be 2 shorter objects instead of 1. There are no humps or head, and although about a dozen feet long, they look like they could be logs at that point, too. So I feel like a lot of the sightings, it could be debris, it could be like a otter or something like that.
Especially when there's no humps or head.
Right.
What day was that sighting?
That was in 2011.
2011?
Yeah.
You think it was on a Wednesday?
Probably a Wednesday. I'm thinking a Tuesday or Wednesday. There's not a lot of humps or head on Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Oh, God.
Well, Wednesday is hump day.
Well, it is hump day. I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. It had to be a Tuesday then, because if it had humps, then it was on Wednesday.
The only picture I had in my head when you're talking about otters, I'm thinking, are these things like the pranksters of the water? But I was hoping when your story was when the skier fell by the water, that a couple otters just grabbed him and pulled him under the water.
Oh, God.
Because then, like, oh, God, we have to worry about otters. We don't have to worry about cryptids. Right. We got to worry about otters.
Right.
They're taking over the world.
Now, see, I do have to, was the skier a plant by the OgoPogo to just cause...
Oh, to put plausible deniability
right,
on
yeah.
that.
But the skier's in servitude of the OgoPogo?
Yeah. And, it came right up and fell and, no reaction or anything. And that was just to cause
What if he has health benefits with that job?
Well, I'm just thinking also that if
I'd do it.
If he was water skiing and he fell, he's not going to pay any mind to the OgoPogo, because when you fall water skiing, that sucks. You flip around. It's not a good thing. You there's no way to pay attention to anything else besides
True.
you trying to breathe.
Yeah.
And the OgoPogo, you just took off. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've water skied before, so falling sucks, especially when you're cruising along.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now in
That
September,
sounds like a true statement.
It is. I'm just telling you. I'm not the best water skier. It sucks.
Hey, everybody, falling sucks.
Falling sucks. That's whether I'm laying or on the water. It doesn't matter.
But why do we fall, Bruce?
To get a little hump and a little tail.
So we learn how to get back up. Dave, come on.
Yeah.
in September 2018, there were 3 sightings. One that described a snake-like that was about almost 50 feet long. And then the last one I have in June 2019, so recently, Jim LaRoque.
That's what I had.
Do you have that one? Okay, noticed a wake on Skaha Lake, which is one of the interconnected lakes. It's not that one,
spelled
but
that very wrong.
he. What?
I spelled it Shaka,
Oh,
but
no.
I could have said Skaha and just put the K. It looks like an H, and I'm not reading
it's
it right.
Skaha.
Okay.
He witnessed at least 7 fins paddling in sync and believes that it was 120 feet long.
Wow. Yeah,
Now-
now I saw the video, too.
Did you?
He immediately got his camera's video in as his kid was paddleboarding. So I'm like, oh, you see what you think is a sea monster, but you just let your kid right there on the paddleboard because you got to film this thing.
Right.
He's thinking, hey, with the amount of money he's going to get from this video, I can make a few more kids.
Oh, okay. You're taking it to a dark place.
Yeah. Instead of watching his kids paddleboard, I'm just thinking, he'd be like, oh, wow, he's fine. He's fine. Kids are so resilient these days.
Now, according to Pat Raphael of West Bank First Nation, he says, it's not really a monster. It's a spirit of the lake, and it protects this valley from one end to the other. There are some that believe that OgoPogo has is a distant relative of some ancient aquatic dinosaur of some sort. He might be an evolutionary orphan, somehow spared by the Ice Age. Scientists have thought that it may be a form of a primitive whale called a Basilosaurus cetoides. I didn't say it right.
I like cetoids.
Yeah. Now, because he had some of the same features, I wanted to give you guys a random thing.
Okay.
That Basilosaurus cetoides is the official state fossil of Alabama.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
okay.
Interesting.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that states had official state fossils.
Now,
Apparently, they
That's
do.
a whole other fact.
I know.
That was a do for one. That was a doofer.
a note on Jim LaRocque. He took that video of the thing. He owns a liquor store.
Yeah.
So he shows it to everybody that comes in, which I think is super cool. But Dr. Robert Young of UBCO, he's an environmental scientist. He says it's what's called an overturn. So it happens seasonally, where the lake layers. Sometimes there's different temperatures, and when they can cause ripples. And legend hunter Bill Stecuick. How would you pronounce it?
Stusik.
All right, Bill Stusik. He's a legend hunter. He claims he's seen it twice, once in 2015 and once in 1978. He's skeptical of Jim's video also based on the size and the location. But what I'd like to talk about is Bill Stusik, because he is a legend hunter. Now, he's a legend, in my opinion, because this is how I want to do my retirement. So this guy saw...
So when he gets up and he goes, brushes his teeth, if he's a legend, he goes in the bathroom, looks in the mirror, and he's like, gotcha.
Right. So in 1978, he was out at that lake, that Kalawana, but he caught moving in the lake and stopped his car. All the traffic behind him stopped, and there was like 20 people looking in the water at this thing. And he said it's this thing swimming for nearly a minute and then disappeared. So obviously this kicked off Bill's obsession with OgoPogo. But so his retirement is he bought himself a 50-foot houseboat and tricked it out with the devices to like sonar checking in the lake. And this is how he spends his retirement trying to find OgoPogo.
Yep.
Nice.
And I'm like, I want to do that.
I bet he made that whole thing a tax deduction, too.
Because he made it a business.
It's
so he
a
could write
business
off
entity.
That.
Yeah, I bet he can write. I bet he wrote off the house and he wrote off all of the technology involved, even his time to do it. That's fantastic. That's
Right?
a great idea.
Why can't we do that?
Right.
Right. Let's do it. Now, you talked about also that the $1 million
Yeah.
was offered. That was like by a tourist company to bring people in
Right.
to this lake. Like, okay, pretty genius move.
Yeah.
They upped it, though, to $2 million.
What?
Yeah. At one time, I think not too long ago. Again, tourism.
It's to get
Right.
people in,
Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, I want to be like Bill Stusik.
Yeah.
But instead of the Ogopogo, Bigfoot.
Right.
So then you need an RV.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already thought about this.
Trick out the RV.
I'd get an RV and I'd get it wrapped with the Paranormal Punchers logo and all that
Yeah.
swag. So when we roll
Yeah.
into town,
Yeah.
people see that. And then, maybe we have like speakers on the outside so we could do a podcast from the van.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then people could listen to it. We could just drive down the street blaring it. So even if you don't want to hear it,
You're still gonna
everybody
hear it.
gets to hear the podcast.
Yeah.
I think that'd be super cool. Roll into a park where we don't need permits.
Yeah.
Set up, just do a live show.
Right.
And then at night, we go looking for Bigfoot. And then maybe end up at the local brewery.
I was going to say, because it'd be an RV, so it has to have like sleeping area, but then you have to have double and triple and quadruple the space for beer. So you got to have at least a couple fridges in there.
I need a toilet.
Okay, well, there's one
just
in
saying.
the house
Wait,
over there.
right now?
Yeah, we're going right this second.
Like in this
was gonna say,
Yeah.
I need to make sure there's a toilet in there. That's all.
So I see this. So everybody's got a list of gear we need. Lish has one thing on her list. It's
Toilet.
Yes, we would need a RV that has a toilet, but we would have to have rules.
Right.
Of
And
course.
the biggest rule, just like on rock and roll tour buses, you don't poop in the.
It's just for peeing.
Yeah, you guys laugh. I put some serious thought into like how I could get an RV and that we could take the show on the road.
Right.
I thought you were going to take that in a very different.
I mean,
direction.
number
Your thought into the bathroom. How it's going to work out? The scheduling.
That is funny. No, I've had to put some serious thought into the toilet too,
Yeah.
because looking at different campers and knowing that that's the only thing on her list of equipment, I've looked at composting.
Yeah.
I looked at ones that incinerate.
Yeah.
You drop whatever in what you do in the toilet. You hit a little trigger and it just burns the poop.
The easiest.
Exhaust it right
You
to the
gotta
car
miss
next to you.
The easiest one of them all. The easiest one of them all is just cut a hole in the floor. That's all you got to do. Just cut the hole, go straight down. No muss, no fuss.
Oh my gosh.
Done. Everything's biodegradable.
I feel like we get pulled over
Yeah.
as that's hitting the road as we drive.
Right.
Well, we're not going to be in a high-speed chase and be like, oh, I got to go.
I don't know. Sometimes you get nervous on a
I was
high-speed
gonna say,
chase.
you never know.
Why would we be in a high-speed chase? What do you think we're doing?
Why
We're looking for
why
Bigfoot.
why would there be cops following us everywhere and waiting for us to poop out of the car?
Probably because we have loudspeakers on the side of the RV blasting our podcast.
Right.
There's probably some ordinance about that, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's. I think this guy has it here,
Yeah.
being a legend hunter, and for his retirement. Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the first thing on the list would need to like win the lottery.
Right.
If we need an RV equipped with all kinds of gear and a toilet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you know that how much that jacks the price up of the camper?
No, I
toilet?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can get one without. We just need campgrounds.
Well, no, see, all the RVs, I think that most of them have toilets in them. You're going to be fine. But you
No,
know,
there's a lot of really cool ones I could pull with the Subaru. Oh, so that'd be another thing. It's either
Like
when
a
you just
toy hauler,
straight up
they don't.
drive, it's all self-contained, or I got to get a big old truck.
Yeah.
Oh, but we might need a toy hauler because we might need tricked out RVs to go up into the mountains.
Oh, yeah. Dirt bikes and RVs.
All right, we can't afford any of this.
No. All right.
But that's why in the script for the second comic book, we have an RV. We're headed to the Mothman Festival because I'm like, legitimately, I want an RV for us to
Right.
travel around and find monsters.
So if any of the listeners out there have any leads for any beat-up old RVs that we could get on the cheap, let us know.
With the toilet.
With a toilet. Gotta have a toilet. gotta have a toilet.
I mean, it's a hard pass for me if it doesn't have a toilet. So
You know what they do? None of them have is a full-size shower.
that's okay.
Well, speak for yourself there, tiny person.
Well, you could sit down.
Well, no. Usually, like I always think of it like I was on a catamaran, and where the toilet was also where the shower is, and it's all one small little teeny tiny area. You know, they had those little. They have the little corner showers. I don't even fit in one of those.
Yeah.
You know, I can't.
Well, we
I
could
gotta do
hook
like
up one of those.
like yoga to get to my head to wash it.
We could hook up an outside shower.
That's all I need. I just need to be hosed off.
And this
once a week.
is what leads to getting chased by the police.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Nash, you forgot to shut the curtain.
Where's Nash? He's in the
Get
back
in
of
the
the toy
RV.
hauler, and the door is open, and Nash is taking a shower.
Yep, it'll all go bad. I guess I'll just scratch that dream off the list. All right. The episode is actually about OgoPogo
Yes,
and not our RV.
And I did want to add some information on the OgoPogo.
Sure.
Was that the valley that the lake is in, Lake whatever the heck it's called, is it was the highest volcanic. It had the highest number, the highest.
You can do it.
Volcano activity.
Okay.
It was formed from volcanic eruptions that are around the area. So, and it has right now. They have ice volcanoes that happen
What?
I guess it's...
What's an ice volcano?
It does the exact same thing regular
Does
volcano.
it rain shards of ice down upon people?
No, I mean, it's still... No, it's
Oh my
more
God.
like where the plates come together and it shoots ice up because it's so far north, and it happens in this lake. So it's connected through... It's an interconnected lake with these other lakes, but it also has these volcanic tubes still there. Like what we were saying about that other... work with me here. You guys got to...
Loch Ness?
No,
or
another one. Another lake monster. That was...
Bear Lake?
Was it the Bear Lake Monster?
Bear Lake Monster.
No, we were saying it has...
There's
like
the one in Lake Seneca we talked
Yeah.
It
about.
has the underground like waterways to other lakes to
Okay,
get to, which
yeah.
is why they can't find it. This is exactly that same
That's the one at
scenario.
Lake Seneca. Connecting the Great Lakes together.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. And this is exactly another
And that's why the
scenario like
government has the radar station there.
and the whole thing is connected through all the. So it's such a high area of volcanic activity. They're all dormant now, but those lava tubes are still there and they're filled with water. So this is where the OgoPogo can go to find its place, which is why I would imagine it lasted for so long.
You know, and the OgoPogo has found its place in history because in October of 1990, they issued a stamp for the OgoPogo alongside 3 other legendary characters. Guys have a guess?
Oh, probably Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Sasquatch? A giant squid called the Kraken
Okay.
I was going to say, I shouldn't guess because I
Phil?
can read your...
and the Loop Guru, which is
The
the
Lou-guru.
Yep, the Rougarou.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who became
so
a police
the
officer.
OgoPogo is in some legendary company,
That's cool.
forever immortalized on a stamp.
But they took the OgoPogo over Loch Ness.
It's Canada, bro.
Yeah.
That's their Loch Ness.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Okay. I guess that was a big duh on my part on that one.
We're issuing stamps to commemorate
Right.
other countries.
I thought it was, oh well.
Where's the Kraken reside that they would pick that one?
It's in the water.
Well, I asked for it.
Thank you for giving me that little nugget at the very end.
What body of water is the legendary beast supposedly
I thought
from?
that was it. I
think
This is
any
Greek
ocean.
mythology.
Yeah, I was
Any
gonna say
ocean.
it's
Like
probably
the
the ocean.
Atlantic Ocean, not the Pacific. I thought it was more the Atlantic.
I'm sure they have.
Maybe there's one in both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
could
I
be.
mean,
Never know.
Canada does touch both
Yeah.
oceans, so it...
Yeah. Yeah. Old Phil McCracken.
Release the Kraken. All right. Any more deets on OgoPogo or RV renovations?
As long as there's a toilet. That's all I care about.
They also convert school buses these days.
I know. Dude, you have no idea the hours of YouTube videos I've watched to make this dream reality. Because I thought we'd have to buy something and kind of trick it out.
They'll do it
With,
for you. I follow them on Instagram. A couple conversion companies. Old school buses? Yeah.
That'd be pretty rad.
Yeah, it would. It would. I have a whole design. I kind of redesigned what a school bus would do when you came in and you parked. You could park it to have the sides open up like a clamshell.
So you're like, our school bus is going to be like a transformer?
Yeah.
We roll into town. Start smashing everything. Yeah.
Yeah, something
down.
like that. And they're beautiful on the inside, and they have toilets. Right next to the sink in the kitchen.
I mean, yeah. Why not?
Why not? It's all in the same place.
Well, we'll use a camp chef and we'll cook outside.
There you go. Yeah. And you can have windows. You can just turn the fan on, shoot it back. It's all right. The devil's in the details.
Man, we just...
Now that we murdered this horse.
Yeah.
I think what Dave is saying, if it's not weird...
It's not worth checking out.